Coming up on Sportsnight.
Softball continues to dominate at home.
Baseball took on its first ranked opponent of the year and came home with a win.
And the women's tennis team competes for a Big Ten title.
Miles, it may be a new month, but it's still Sports Night right now. Welcome on into Sports Night. I'm Navarrete, and that's Miles French. Miles, you know what they say, there's no place like home.
You know, I think I've heard of that, Allie, but you know who's definitely heard of it? The softball team with the way they played last weekend. The Cats are getting towards the end of the regular season, and you know what that means, senior day. And coming off a 4-game winning streak, this team wanted to send their seniors out in style against Iowa. Last home series of the year for the Cats, and they're looking to hold on to that Big Ten lead. And let's take it to the top of the first, almost out of the inning, and pitcher Denali Locker takes it to left center field to give Iowa the lead. First time since April the Cats didn't get the first run of the game. But you know this squad, they're going to get it right back. Big shot from Rachel Lewis to right field. They're going to take the 2-1 lead right in the bottom of the first. But we're not done with this inning just yet. Maeve Nelson says, "Give me that." They're going to extend the lead to 2 off the Welsh Ryan wall. No further scoring until the top of the 5th, where Williams accidentally hits Zoe Schulte, and we're going to see Sammy Diaz gets a dribbler up the middle to bring home 2 runs and ties up the game for Iowa. Just like last time, though, take it to the bottom of the inning, and the Cats are going to rally. Here's Hannah Katie with the single up the middle of the field, and that's going to give the lead right back to Northwestern. And now Anna Zidak with a big home run in the bottom of the 6th, and that's going to finish up game 1. Cats win 9-5. Take it to game 2, where Sydney Supley is on the circle, and she was dealing. Complete game from Supley, getting 3 strikeouts, allowing only 4 hits. She was on point today. And let's take it to the bottom of the first. Shellmeyer with the double, and she is absolutely hyped up here. Look at these moves to the camera in a second. Giving us a little bit of style, and Rachel Lewis is going to give us a little bit of more hitting. Hits it up the left field line, brings home Shellmeyer, and the Cats take the lead in the bottom of the first. Now we're moving on to the top of the 3rd, where, look at that, don't run on Rudd. Gets the throw out, and the Cats were going to win game 2 by a score of 4-0. Last game, senior day, Jordan Rudd again with the hit up the middle, brings home the runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and this was a big inning for the Cats. They're up 4-0, and then boom! Big shot from Hannah Katie, takes it to an 8-0 lead, and the Wildcats could not be stopped today. It wasn't just hitting. Take a look at this fielding. Gets the double play. I mean, any spot of the game, the Cats were dominating, and that's without mentioning the pitching. Danielle Williams, a complete game shutout. 7 strikeouts. Can you believe that? As you see the final out here, the Cats get the big win on senior day, 9-0. The series sweep over Iowa, and they are completely rolling through this Big Ten schedule as they get to the end of the season. Congratulations to all the seniors on securing the senior day win and on their careers in Evanston. The Wildcats will travel to Minnesota this weekend in what will be their last series of the year. But we're not done talking about this team just yet. Here with us is our resident softball expert, NNN Sports' Pat Timlin, and he's going to give us the breakdown as the softball squad races towards the postseason. Pat, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, Miles. I saw last week you guys did some draw control with Hallie and Jill Girardi. Doesn't look like we're going to do that here today, but you know, I'm down to talk some softball with you.
Glad to have you. So, Pat, what's something that Northwestern has proved to us up until this point in Big Ten play?
Yeah, it's proved that they're ready for just about anything in this entire season. And depending on the moment, anyone can step up and deliver for this team. They've had 4 different players win Big Ten Player of the Week recently. They've had some pitching really step up lately, especially Sidney Supley had a great performance against Iowa. But they've shown us that up and down the lineup, they have people who are ready to contribute and make a difference on the field for the Wildcats, and that the rest of the Big Ten should be looking out, especially Minnesota this weekend, as Northwestern has a chance to clinch the regular season Big Ten title.
So we just saw the series sweep against Iowa, 1 series left against Minnesota. Tell me, what would clinching the Big Ten regular season title mean to this team?
It would mean a great deal. You can't overlook that. It'd be their first Big Ten regular season title since 2008, when they also won the Big Ten tournament. They had Tammy Williams on that team. But it's not enough for this team. Kate Durhan keeps telling them, go get what they want. And what they want is a national championship, and it's the right squad for it. They're sitting in the top 10. They've been there all year long. They beat the top 3 teams in the Pac-12. They've shown Big Ten defending champs, Michigan, what's up, and they've got Minnesota, a team who's also held down the conference for a long time. It's really looking like their year, especially with how much older talent they have in the team. Rachel Lewis, a 5th year, was just drafted in the Athletes Unlimited draft. I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing her play out in Rosemont sometime soon. Regardless, they want more, is what I have to say. This Big Ten championship would mean a lot, but it's clearly not the final goal.
Of course, the playoffs are coming up. This team has been playing incredibly well, but what needs to come together for them if they want to go deep into the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, they've had the bats this entire year, but really if that pitching can come together, especially behind Danielle Williams, they're a tough team to beat because they'll have multiple arms to go to and she won't be tired. And, you know, she's got that killer changeup, but look for someone like Lauren Boyd to bounce back. We saw her the last time out, show some discomfort, left the game, haven't really seen her in about a month now. Sidney Supley's pitched well, Lauren Dvorak's picked absolutely phenomenally, but if Lauren Boyd can come back and be the pitcher that we know she is, she'll provide an extra arm for this Wildcat team that I think would help them, especially against tougher teams that you'll face off against the College World Series when you don't have as much rest. But overall, I think they need to just stick to what they've been doing. Don't complicate it. Continue to play their brand of softball and show the rest of the world who they are.
Well, Pat, the playoffs are in sight, and the Cats are looking to add to that trophy case. Once again, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Coming up after the break, we'll get you updated about the other diamond sport. Don't go anywhere.
If you what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Sports Night. While we're just about a month into Major League Baseball, Northwestern Baseball is in the thick of its season.
That's right, Miles, and the team took on its first-ranked opponent of the season this past weekend. The Northwestern baseball team got off to a rocky start this season, but has been on the up and up as of late. And this weekend, it had its toughest test yet, facing the top 25 Maryland Terrapins on the road. Let's take a look back at what went down in College Park. The Wildcats traveled to College Park this past weekend to take on the number 23 ranked Maryland Terrapins in a 3-game series. In Game 1, the Terps struck first and struck fast with this homer from Chris Aline. In the first inning, his 14th of the year, Aline currently leads the Big Ten in home runs. Bottom of the third now, sophomore Kevin Keister smacks an RBI single into center field. Maryland's offense was cooking early on in the game, scoring 8 runs in the second and third innings. Though the offense was excellent, the star of the game was that guy on the mound right there, Ryan Ramsey. Ramsey put on an absolute display using his breaking ball, that smooth curveball, and that nasty slider. Ramsey threw 10 strikeouts and allowed no hits, completing just the 20th perfect game in NCAA baseball history and the second perfect game in Maryland baseball history. Terps defeat the Cats 13-0, but they look to rebound in Game 2 after a slow start. Northwestern scoring 5 runs in the 8th, including this 2 RBI single to center field by Vince Bianchina, scoring Calarco and O'Donnell. The Terps offense came alive in this inning as well, hitting back-to-back solo home runs like this shot by Nick LaRusso. LaRusso currently 6th in the Big Ten in RBIs. 9th inning now, the Cats weren't done just yet as Bianchina notches his 3rd RBI of the game with a double to right field. Bianchina currently sits at 4th on the team in RBIs this year. The Terps would hit another homer at the bottom of the inning, but weren't able to catch the Cats as Northwestern reliever Kobe Moe took the win, and Northwestern takes Game 2 of the series 7-4. Much like Game 2, the Cats got off to a slow start on Sunday, but first-year Andrew Pinkston lit the fuse for Northwestern with this RBI single, getting the offense going as part of a 3-run 7th inning. But the Terps would soon get hot in the 7th as well as catcher Luke Schilger hits into the infield, and the Cats defense can't capitalize as the runners are all safe and the run scores. The Terps scored 5 runs between the 7th and 8th innings, capped off by this Chris Aline RBI groundout. The Cats offense couldn't find the spark again as they drop Game 3 to the Terps 10-5 and lose the series 1-2. Northwestern currently sits at 6th place in the Big Ten, and after the series against Maryland, they traveled down the road to take on UIC yesterday night. The Cats had a hard time getting going offensively, while the Flames lived up to their name. They were batting hot, put on a 13-0 win over Northwestern, but the Cats will look to bounce back with a 3-game series against Ohio State this coming weekend at home. After this past week of play and with a Big Ten tournament appearance still in reach, the Cats look to get back on track this weekend when they take on the Ohio State Buckeyes at home. And here with me now to talk all things Cats baseball is WNUR Sports Director Brea Lassek. Brea, like we just saw, the Cats escaped College Park with 1 win over the ranked Terps. What did you like from their performance in that Saturday win?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here on Sports Night. I think that Michael Faranelli has been key for the Cats lately. He pitched 5 innings versus Maryland in that Saturday game, only allowing 1 run. And that's been huge for the Cats to depend on Faranelli because in the past 7 of 8 appearances, he's only allowed 2 runs or less, which has been just what the Cats have needed, especially since they've struggled with pitching before. And not only that, but the bats were especially great. They had a 2-out rally in the 8th for 5 runs. I mean, they really converted where it mattered most. And after getting perfect game the night before, you have to think that it buys them a little confidence coming into the next series.
Also true, Brea. And looking at the Cats season up until this point, who are some players that have stood out to you?
I think that this team is very young. You can't shy away from that. There's a lot of first years and sophomores that have really been big this year. Personally, I've been really impressed with first-year Patrick Herrera, especially entering Big Ten play. He didn't start out this season too hot batting-wise, but now he's batting over 300. And against Michigan State, he went 5 for 10 and continued to convert when they needed it most against Maryland. So look for him to be a big impact maker.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, the Cats currently sitting at number 6 in the Big Ten. They need to stay in the top 8 in order to make the Big Ten tournament. It would be their first postseason appearance since 2017. What does this team need to do to make that happen?
They need to simply do what they need to do. I mean, basically, these next 3 series are extremely important. You have Ohio State, Purdue, Minnesota. They're all towards the bottom of the Big Ten, so they're very doable series. I would like to see the Cats sweep this weekend to stay in that top 8, like you said. Not only would it be the Cats' first Big Ten tournament since 2017, it would be their first season finishing above 500 since 2000, which I think we can all say is time overdue. So I think that for the Cats to, extend into postseason play, they're going to have to get their pitching in order. Their bullpen is going to have to perform like they did on Saturday against Maryland.
Yeah, will surely be a huge deal if Northwestern can keep this momentum up. Again, they will face Ohio State this weekend at Rocky and Bernice. Brea, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it was so great, Allie.
Hold up, don't log off just yet. There's still plenty of Northwestern sports to cover, including Big Ten tournament play for the women's tennis team when we come back.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. It might be the final quarter here at Northwestern, but our spring sports teams are showing no signs of slowing down.
That's right, Allie. Lots of action from these upcoming teams. Northwestern women's tennis made their mark last week in the Big Ten tournament at the University of Iowa, making it all the way to the semifinals before ultimately falling 4-3 against Michigan. Entering the tournament as the third-ranked team, the Cats took down the Nebraska Cornhuskers in a tight battle. Tied at 3 apiece heading into the final match, first-year Justine Long defeated Nebraska's Ellie Kugelman to give Northwestern the victory. In the next round, Michigan took an early 3-1 lead over the Cats before 2 victories by juniors Christina Hand and Brianna Crowley to tie the match. Unfortunately, Northwestern's comeback fell just short and Michigan pulled out the victory, advancing to the next round. Despite Northwestern's defeat, Clarissa Hand was named to the All-Big Ten tournament team for her impressive performance. Additionally, the Cats received an at-large bid to play in the NCAA Championship on May 7th. Northwestern will travel to Georgia to make their 32nd appearance in the NCAA tournament and take on Wake Forest in the first round. Should the Cats beat the Demon Deacons, they'll take on the winner of Georgia and Charleston Southern on Sunday in the second round.
With its season winding down, the Northwestern men's tennis team had a week featuring disappointment yet elation. Last week, the Wildcats began the Big Ten tournament as the number 4 seed, starting play in the second round. NU defeated number 5 Nebraska 4-0 in singles. Stephen Foreman beat the Cornhuskers' Dario Huber 6-love and 6-1, while Seaman Brathwaite defeated Shunyun Murayama 7-6 and 6-1, and Trice Pickens won 6-1 and 7-6. In doubles play, Brathwaite and Brian Berdesco upended Huber and Murayama to clinch the match for the Cats. However, the Wildcats ran into a buzzsaw in the Ohio State's Buckeyes in the semifinals, losing 4-0. Foreman, Berdusco, and Gleb Blecker all dropped singles matches. Although Bratham and Berdusco won their doubles match, it wasn't enough to prevail over the #1 Buckeyes. On Monday, Northwestern found out it had qualified for the 2022 NCAA men's tournament. The Wildcats will battle East Tennessee State on Friday in Lexington, Kentucky. Stay tuned for all the postseason action.
Men's golf got its first taste of postseason action this weekend with the Big Ten Championships at French Lick, Indiana. The Wildcats finished 4th as a team, with senior David Neefjall winning the individual tournament at 1 under par. Junior James Amai posted a 9 over par score for the weekend, giving the team another top 25 individual contribution. After a first round 291, Northwestern found itself in a tie for 4th place with a score of 68 from Neefjall and 69 from first-year Cameron Adam. Subsequent scores of 293 and 306 would keep the Cats in their position for the whole week. However, the team finished only 5 strokes behind eventual conference champion Illinois. For Neefjall, the individual conference crown adds another impressive accomplishment to a standout season. He is just the 4th male Wildcat in school history to win the individual title and first since David Lipsky in 2010. The recently announced unanimous All-Big Ten first-team member is also an honoree for the Conference Sportsmanship Award. The Cats have next week off before heading to Columbus, Ohio for the NCAA Regionals from May 16th to 18th, where the 8th-seeded squad will need a top 3 finish to book a trip to Scottsdale, Arizona for the NCAA Championships at Greyhawk Golf Club.
Thanks for that update, Miles. And while we might not have a lacrosse game to recap for you, we've got a special guest joining us all the way from Piscataway, where the Lake Show is going to get started with the Big Ten tournament tomorrow. Our very own Logan Schishano. Logan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Allie. It's great to be here.
So the Lake Show will face the number 3 seeded Rutgers in their first game of the tournament tomorrow. The team has already beat the Scarlet Knights in the regular season. Can you remind us what Northwestern did so well in that game, Logan?
Yeah, sure. So the game was close, at the beginning. Northwestern got out to an early lead, but Rutgers really fought back and cut it to a 1-goal game midway through the third quarter. But the Cats eventually pulled away in the fourth, taking that one 21-13. And what they did really well, they were career games for Lauren Gilbert and Jill Girardi. Lauren had a career high 8 goals, and Girardi had a career high 19 draw controls. So it was really all about winning the draw and pushing immediately once the Cats gained possession. They were aggressive on the attack constantly, and there was just an aggressiveness in them that day that really allowed them to handle the Scarlet Knights quite easily.
Yeah, so while the Cats might have gotten it done over Rutgers once already this year, the Scarlet Knights are certainly still a threat. What are some of your keys to the game for Northwestern if it wants to take care of business tomorrow night?
Well, the key for me, Allie, on both ends of the ball is going to be decisiveness for Northwestern. In their last game against Maryland, when they fell behind early, the ball was going a lot into the hands of their star players, Gilbert and Girardi, but there wasn't a lot of ball movement on the offensive end, and there weren't a lot of catch and shoot opportunities. So for me, it's going to be Northwestern. If someone gets a look, just a little sliver of space, don't be afraid to take that shot. Don't be afraid to let it rip, because Northwestern is really good they're very accurate shooting wise. So I'm confident that if they have an opening and they take a shot, there's a good chance it's going in. The same thing goes on the defensive end. If players are going to be switching, if players are going to be sliding, getting over picks, there needs to be a lot of communication. Don't hesitate. Trust yourself. This has been a long season, a lot of games. They're ready for this. And I think if they just trust themselves and be decisive on both sides of the ball, they'll have a good chance tomorrow night.
And Logan, we constantly talk about the superstars on this team, like Lauren Gilbert, Jill Girardi, but who's a player to watch this weekend that you think's been a bit slept on this year?
Yeah, Allie. Well, I think the players who aren't Jill Girardi and Lauren Gilbert, like you just said, are going to be especially important this year. In the last game against Maryland, Gilbert only had 1 goal. Girardi added 3, but 2 of those came in the fourth quarter. So the Cats really need to have other contributors if they want to have a chance to win, especially if they do go up against Maryland in the final. So my key player for Northwestern is going to be Dylan Amante. Now, Amante has received more playing time steadily throughout the season, and she is one of those players who has one of the toughest, hardest shots to stop on this Northwestern team. She had a really fantastic highlight reel shot it was one of the bright spots in that game against Maryland a couple of weeks ago. So look for Northwestern to get her the ball in places where she has the opportunity to get off a shot from the 8-meter arc. And chances are, if she gets the ball and puts in the net, I'm excited to see what Northwestern can do this weekend.
Thanks so much for joining us, Logan, and tell the Cats good luck from us here at Sports Night. Again, you can catch the Lake Show tomorrow night taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights at 7 p.m. Central, and make sure to keep an eye out as they'll head to the NCAA tournament in just a few weeks. And when we come back, it's everyone's favorite part of the show. You won't want to miss it.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Allie, while the Met Gala might have been on Monday night, we here at Sports Night are rolling out the red carpet for our top plays.
You know it, Miles. It's time for everybody's favorite Plays of the Week.
Kick it off with number 3, Vincent Bianchina with the clutch single to bring home the runs, give NU the lead, and take down the number 23 team in the nation. What a hit.
Number 2 will take it to the tennis courts. Justine Leong gets the winning point here, helping the Cats to a Big Ten tournament win over Nebraska.
And our top play, Hannah Katie. Mink, big grand slam to put NU 8-0 against a pummeling of Iowa. That's going to do it for us here in the studio. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at NNN Sports, on Instagram at NNN_sports, and you can catch all of our previous shows and coverage on YouTube at NNN Sports. For Allie Navarrete, I'm Miles French. We'll see you next time, and go Cats.